All right, folks, a couple minutes left in the show. We want to dedicate it to answering your questions this evening. Tom and Sarah and Ryan are here to answer your questions. Ryan's going through a lot of them this evening.
A lot of questions, a lot of good questions, as a matter of fact, and some travel questions. First one is coming in from Amy.
Amy, thank you, and let's help you out. I'm planning on traveling to Erie, Pennsylvania from Lancaster, Pennsylvania on Friday and back to Lancaster on Monday. Should I stay or should I go?
Sounds like a song.
That was a song, was it not?
Should I go? Who did it?
Dun, dun. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm bad on
Well, let's get to the question
band
first.
names.
My only concern with that is right along the Great Lakes area. I think the lake effect snow could cause a problem, but getting into Lancaster, I don't think there's going to be that much of an issue there. So at this point, I would go.
All right, good.
I'm curious, too, quickly about how the cold air mass coming through is actually going to freeze the lakes some.
It's going to develop significant ice cover probably on Lake Erie, but otherwise they are wide open, and they'll be wide open for the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, be careful, nonetheless, and check that forecast frequently. Right now, looking okay.
A little bit further to the west, Christian has a question.
All right, Christian, thank you. Why is it hard to snow in Seattle?
That's a great question.
A lot of Pacific marine influence there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have the warm Pacific Ocean there. It snows like crazy in the Cascades, but what do the Cascades have that Seattle doesn't?
Elevation.
Yeah, and a lot more. The higher you go, the colder the air is. So Seattle, being a marine climate near the ocean, stays milder, and that's why.
And when you talk about warm temperatures, I mean, the Pacific Ocean there isn't warm necessarily. It's not like bath water necessarily, but compared to the air temperature, it stays warm.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's
warm
warm
enough to modify the air mass.
That's correct. Absolutely.
All right, next one is from Donna. Great question. Fits perfectly into our high split.
All right, Donna, thanks. What is a cross-polar flow?
Okay. Most easy definition is it's a flow that goes across the North Pole, and oftentimes during these major outbreaks we will get cold air that comes from Siberia, from literally the other side of the world, across the poles, down across Canada and into the United States.
Cross-polar flow.
Cool.
Almost exactly what it sounds
literally
like.
cool.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you all for your questions this evening, and remember, we do it every single day here on the show, answering your questions live on Weather Underground. A final check of your forecast now with meteorologist Alex Wilson.
Let's do it. We're going to give you the whole country. Why not, right? We've got snow working into parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, even North Georgia, Northeast Alabama has seen some of that snow. Northeast as well. Look at that. Getting closer to the Atlanta area, northern, northeastern suburbs. Likely seeing a few flakes. Flakes are flying across parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and into the state of New York. They've seen really low visibilities at times across parts of Ohio. It's caused traffic issues as well. We're going to keep lake effect snow across parts of New York, Ohio, into New England, also parts of Michigan during the day tomorrow. And on Friday, notice we have rain showers into the Pacific Northwest, places like Seattle, New York, 29, 58 in Atlanta. But boy, this weekend, things are going to be cooling off. So heat things up for your Valentine.
And there's a commercial.
Seriously?
Do it.
You're not gonna
I know what you meant by that.
after that, yeah.
All right, a little what we learned on the show this evening, because we learned some.
think of it that way.
Yeah, well, you know, some little messages from Alex Wilson this evening on how to stay warm. What we learned on the show this evening, we learned a lot.
We did.
Tom Nizzle, thank you. A high split. I didn't know all the things that you could use the high split for to track.
Used
Like
for an awful lot, yeah.
radioactive particles. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That is. You know, I learned from Dave about the Chinook winds and the differences of temperatures across just
That was
you know,
awesome.
a state.
Was Colorado, single digits
That
to
was nuts.
70s.
Yeah. Dave always finds those cool
He's
things.
got great nuggets.
I learned from Tom that the high split can actually go forward in time in the forecast to then track a parcel backwards in time like it was doing for New York. I didn't know you could actually go forward and then back.
You could go back to the future with the forecasting.
Very good.
Very nice.
Very short. I'll take one from Dave as well, but basically the idea that, you know, he had the average line temperature, and I remember a professor always saying it's just an average of extremes, and that's why when you go on TV, you shouldn't say this is what it should be today. It's actually just an average of other crazy years, temperature-wise.
I learned from our surfer Kevin that we interviewed about what is the contest again? Is it the Big
Eddy
or the Eddy? That El Nino years actually typically have larger swells during those seasons, so they can actually have big years where they have the competition during El Nino years. Didn't know that.
Great. Yeah, and I go to my favorite teacher these days, Dr. Schwartz, Dave Schwartz again. I was amazed at the temperature contrast across Colorado.
That was
one was a
crazy.
biggie. Yeah.
Really fantastic stuff. And hopefully you all learned something on the show this evening as well. And thank you all.